Joining us now from Capitol Hill is Democratic Senator Chris Coons, who sits on both the Foreign Relations and the Judiciary Committees. Thanks for coming back to the program, Senator Coons. Are we any closer after this hearing to understanding whether there was anything criminal in what the President did during the course of the last 3 months, whether it was to do with the Russia investigation specifically or to do with obstructing justice in that investigation?
Well, Kathy, I think we heard a couple of very important things today. Former FBI Director Jim Comey, a seasoned senior federal law enforcement official, testified under oath that he is convinced he was fired in order to interfere with the ongoing investigation into Russian interference in our election, and that when he met with the president, he felt directed to drop an, at that point, ongoing investigation into the former National Security Advisor, General Mike Flynn. There were a number of other striking allegations and suggestions about the role of the Attorney General, about the threats that Russia poses to our future elections, but I do think some significant new developments happened today with regard to the ongoing investigation.
Right, but was there anything actually criminal, do you think, in what the President did?
Well, Kathy, that's not a conclusion for me to make. I'm going to be careful about reaching a conclusion like that. That's why we have Special Counsel Bob Mueller. One thing that was important to hear from the former FBI director, who has, I think, fairly good knowledge into what that ongoing investigation into potential criminal activity by folks in the administration looks like, is that Jim Comey said he thought it was appropriate and possible for the Senate to continue its investigations and for the special counsel to conduct his investigation, that they could move forward at the same time without interfering with each other.
Senator Coons, just coming back to the Attorney General, Jeff Sessions, Mr. Comey said in his written testimony, which he supplied to the Senate, that he hadn't informed him after the Oval Office meeting because, in his view, he was likely to have to recuse himself. It would be problematic for him to carry on with the Russia investigation. When he was asked about that today, he said he couldn't speak about it in a public, open hearing. Does that create another mushroom cloud for the White House?
Yes, I think that was one of the most intriguing, potentially explosive things that was raised today, is the suggestion that there is some reason that the FBI director at the time knew that the Attorney General, Jeff Sessions, would almost certainly recuse himself from any matter involving Russia, and that whatever evidence or information there was that led him to believe that was of a type that he couldn't share in an open hearing. That was quite a significant disclosure today by the former FBI director.
Okay, Senator Coons, you've just returned from a trip to Asia. You were in Vietnam. You were meeting with Asian allies as well. And I think you were at a meeting with NATO members, Eastern European countries, too, just recently. What impact is this Russia investigation having on the White House's reputation abroad and on America's capacity to lead abroad?
Well, I think it continues to raise significant concerns among our European allies, our Asia-Pacific allies. First, that we're distracted. That the administration isn't going to be able to focus on pushing back on Russian aggression or on engaging effectively with North Korea and with China in a way that will help keep them safe. There's a question about our continued leadership role in the world. Some of that is based on things that President Trump said as a candidate. Some of this is based on things he has said as president. And some of it's based on just the general observation that this ongoing investigation is taking up more and more of the time and energy and space here in Washington. I will say that in both places, in Singapore at the Regional Security Conference there, and at Halifax at a North Atlantic Security Conference, all of our allies with whom I spoke were eager for the United States to continue its strong role and to continue to invest in our alliances and partnerships. And I was a part of bipartisan delegations from the Senate to reinforce our thanks for the long and special relationship we have with the United Kingdom and with many other important allies around the world.
Senator Chris Coons, it's really good to have you on the show again. Thanks for coming to be with us on such a busy day.